I am a first generation cheesemaker on my family's dairy farm. We have been, dairy farming is long in my blood and in my history, but cheesemaking is not. So I am the fortunate and the brave to start that on our farm. And we've been making cheese for over 6 years now. And I'm really looking forward to sharing my story. So the first cheese is Little Lucy Brie, and Lucy is our oldest daughter. She's now 8. I think she was 3 when we first made this, and so now she calls it Lucy Brie because she's no longer little. But it's it's by far the cheese that sustains us as a business. It's our least rewarded but most popular and sold cheese in our company. We wanted to make something that chefs could put on a cheese plate and not have to do much with preparation for it. Or, when you bring a brie into your home, you eat some of it, and then you wrap it up, put it in your fridge, and then a couple days later take it out, and you're disappointed because it's mushy and gross. So we wanted something where you can have one wheel, eat it with one other person in one setting, and then hopefully you bought two, so you have another one for later. But just something small. Our brie has been questioned if it's a triple creme. It is not, but we do just utilize the milk as it comes. So in the winter time, our brie will be especially creamy because our milk has a lot higher fat and protein content, and will just turn out that way. It's very creamy, has very grassy notes, and just something that we put just on about everything, especially with, I love to have a baguette with prosciutto and some olive oil and some brie, and I'm set.
One of the things that, when I first saw this, I was thinking of some of the classics that are, that have been out there, St. Andre, of course, the Cowgirls, with their Mount Tam and all that. And this is such a beautiful rind on this cheese. It's thick enough that when working with this, I thought it would be really kind of nice to be able to show how beautiful the separation that is starting to get on this rind is. So beautiful. It's almost a yellow, getting a little hint of amber on this. It's such a beautiful paste on here. And it's young enough to still have a little bit of tanginess, which is really fun, to have the cheese like that. Being this large, it's not going to ripen completely in the center. So you get that beautiful butter and tang that I love about it. And the rind smells like a white button mushrooms would be the best way to.
Uh-huh.
Very, very pleasant. I think anybody that is looking for a brie that doesn't really get that heavy earthiness to it, this is beautiful. For not being a triple creme, this is really amazing, through there. So pairing wise, I decided to go with a classic fig spread. This is the Perseverance Society. Really nice, thick flavors, and of course some Marcona almonds on top of it. So something through there, and Effie's original oat cracker biscuit. I won't put that together, and because it's so thick, I cut it in half and then cut it in half and then cut a little wedge on here. And what's really cool is that the rind's on the bottom, so it doesn't stick to everything when you're, enjoying it. And then pairing wise for beer, I have, this is a coffee porter. And I thought it'd be, really fun to have a little bit of that. And this is a local brewery, 81 Bay Brewery from Tampa.
I love that. We've done a peanut butter porter with a strawberry jam on those Effies, kind of to get a peanut butter and jelly sandwich taste to it. So good. So I agree with that pairing. I think that was great.
You know, for Valentine's Day, this would be a perfect cheese to split between,
Yeah.
two people. It's just so delicious. I love the slight tangy and butteriness of this. You know, this is one of the bries that you can just enjoy all by itself. You don't have to go through, add more things to it. It's always fun to put something more, but this is such a delicious brie. I really love this.
Thank you.
So why the tall format? Why not a puck?
I actually, when I did the course at the Vermont Institute of Artisan Cheese, I got to help. I have to remember what her name was, but I got to help someone over the weekend in between the class salt her cheeses, and it was Champlain Valley Creamery, and she has a triple creme made just like that, and that was the first I had ever seen cheeses that shape, and uh, knew no one in the Midwest has anything like that. So that's literally why we decided on that size. I thought it was cute.
Well, it's a beautiful cheese. It tastes wonderful. It has great display beauty. I mean, it just looks great on the display as well. Uh, you know, uh, what's a shelf life, or as it ages? What is this? Does it become more buttery? Does it become more mushroomy? How does this age?
Yeah, it gets creamier as it ages. It breaks down from the outside in, and it actually gets a little more pungent as it goes. So I'm actually used to eating a lot of very ripe brie, so I'm never used to it being so young. But it gets kind of a stink to it, which I think is really fun before it becomes ammoniated and outdated. But we usually give it about 12 to 13 weeks. So it has a really decent shelf life. And we always put a born on sticker on the bottom so people can realize I really like this cheese young, or I like it when it's runny and pungent. So they can pay attention to that date and figure out what their favorite age of it is.
On here, it came wrapped in a paper. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, we wrap both the brie and our Munster in a cheese paper. We hand wrap every single wheel, and just seems like for us a good way to preserve that wheel and to allow air to slowly transfer between the cheese and the outside air, so that that mold can stay nice and fluffy underneath.
Yeah, when I opened it, the rind was still a little soft, and it
Yeah.
wasn't matted down that well. So is this paper something that you get, you just regular paper, or you specialty paper?
It's a cheese paper that we get through Fromagex, um, especially for they worked with us to get this for our bloomy rind cheese, but I think it's used on other cheeses as well.
Okay. So anything else you'd like to say about the cheese?
I think something that's really fun that people can do with it, especially when spring and summer roll around, we've played a lot with putting the brie on a grill, especially after you've taken your steak off of the grill. You put that brie on right where the steak was, and watch it, but flip it a couple times on a grill, and it's like a whole new experience. Skip the whole baking part of it and bring it outside with you. It's been really fun.